Hey everybody, Fresco Kino's here. So I hope things have been going well with you coming up with your personal branded logo. And the mood board and logo briefs have been really good. I'll give you some more feedback this week on that. So next week is the presentation of your logo. And what I did is opened up this PowerPoint, which I'm going to share with you. And I went to Slideshow Record. And you may have to give your permission to use your webcam and microphone, but the idea is that now I'm able to narrate this PowerPoint. So I'm going to narrate it with you, but what you're going to do is narrate it as if you were pitching this logo to a client. And the idea is why you chose all these things. So let's take a look at the template. What's the story? So I think the idea of having a story behind your brand is really going to kind of engage your audience and fill in the blanks. So somebody was telling me, I wanted to open up a grocery store in Africa and sell certain groceries. And I don't know what kind of, brand logo or color scheme or things like that. So I was saying, well, what's the story behind this? Why do you want to open up this particular store in, Africa, and how those brand colors may do it? So it might be something like a political, like a flag, or it might be something that might be the story of, well, I want to give my neighbors fresh produce. So the colors might be the colors of a beautiful, fresh fruit and vegetable stand. Or it might be something about convenience or the location. So we're in sub-Saharan African desert. So what are the color schemes for that? So, the idea that we can't get fresh vegetables and we're bringing them in to people who wouldn't really be able to get them in this climate or something. So this is the story, and this is what I think, brings people into the brand and makes it more accessible, more interesting, more engaging. So what is the logo for? What is the goal of your logo? Think about, the basic things like your target audience, who you're doing this for, what the objective is. Let's go to the next slide here. So briefly describe your logo with 5 words. So you can use the thesaurus for this and come up with something like, I'm going to just keep using this example. Fresh, right? Think of Fresh Direct. Colorful. Healthy. So you get the idea. I'm not going to name all of them, but I think if you, go in and explore some of these synonyms, you'll come up with some keywords that I think will describe your brand and your logo. So here's Milanote. You can use Milanote, but you can also use Canva for this. And the idea is to put your mood board here. So you already did that. What you want to do with this one then is download the PDF from Canva or from Milanote and put the PDF of your mood board up. And make sure you do all the things that I'm asking you to do on the mood board, because part of the rubric is that you did them. So I don't want to take off points if you're missing something like the font scheme or the colors or whatever. Okay, so the next thing then is font choices. So here, my idea about this should be 3 different font choices. Now, it could be the same font in different sizes. This is what we call a font family. So you might say, I'm going to use Arial 15 points for the headline, 13 points for the subhead, and 12 points for the body copy. I think it's probably better to use at least 2 fonts just to delineate the difference between the display type and the body copy, the headline and the body copy, the subhead, whatever. So, we talked a little bit about the different feel of different fonts. The font that's up there now is a sans serif font, so it kind of works well with titles. You might want to use a serif font for the body copy. And you don't have too much type on the slide anyway, so you're going to be narrating, so a lot of it is going to be keywords. Okay, the next thing is what your logo looks like in black and white. So you may want to put it side by side with a color logo, but the reason why we want a good black and white logo is if someone Xeroxes it and the colors then change to grayscale, we want to make sure that it holds up. So things like, maybe using red and green, if they're the same grayscale level, they disappear. But if it's a bright red and dark green, it'll show up in grayscale. So think about that when you're designing your logo. How is it going to hold up in black and white? And now you have your color scheme here, your swatches and captions. I'm going to try to post something else, like a great website that has some color resources there where you can use a picker to come up with your colors, and it also tells you all the codes that you need then if you're going to send it to a printer, if you're going to send it to a web designer, the different kind of codes that delineate those particular colors exactly. And obviously color, is a whole psychology and science. You want to, think about your brand image here and the colors that you want to use. Scalability. So your logo should be able to hold up under different conditions. It may be plastered on a billboard or show up on a Times Square huge monitor, or it may be on a pen or a lanyard or something like that, a business card. So it should hold up whether it's large or small. It shouldn't fall apart and get crushed or whatever if it gets scaled down, or start to get really pixelated if it's scaled up. So you want to show your logo in 2 sizes here on this slide. And then real world placement. So you can use Place It, but you can also use Canva for this. A lot of other, free resources will allow you to do mock-ups, basically is what it's called, right? So I want to see how my logo is going to look in a real world situation, on my t-shirt, on a cup, on a pen, all those different things, on a computer screen, on a phone. How is it going to actually look on those various devices? So have a couple of variety placements here. Can be fun to actually place your logo like that and see how it's going to look in a real world situation. And then the animated one, hold off on this. We're going to actually work. You certainly do something simple if you want in the beginning, but the idea is that you are going to be doing an animated version of this logo with a audio logo that's going to combine with it, but that's the next project. So we can leave this part open for now, and here's a wrap up where you can ask for questions. Obviously this is for a live presentation, but you can just ask me if I have any questions, and I'll send them to you through Brightspace.